It's the lengths that you went to curry favor with MAGA, and you ain't even hit 10%. You ain't even hit 10%. Dressed like Jesus Christ super bad. You didn't hit 10%. I swear. I'm sad for Nick Ashford having to look at you looking like the frosted version. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video, and salute to everybody supporting the channel over at thepeoplesgetup.com. I'm Reese Waters, and I'm troubled. Hey, Royce White, come on down. Hey, you didn't know? Tokens going for cheap these days. Oh yeah. Hey, you didn't see what happened to the last token that got spent down in Michigan?
I fell short last night. I make no excuse. It was a tough race.
He gonna cry in the car.
Oh yeah, that's right. Had that brother making his concession speech in the car. And he had a Trump endorsement. You didn't. Yet here you go. It came, y'all, my first wig. Tomorrow I test it on the court. This is my feminine era glow up. Did I slay? Well, somebody did, didn't they? And her name was Michelle Tafoya. That's exactly who slayed. So let me get this straight. You went to those lengths in order to curry favor with MAGA and got packed up in 30 minutes. That's right. That's right. You went and got dressed up like Joanna the Scammer. You ran a whole campaign looking like an extra from White Chicks. You out here looking like Flip Wilson's Geraldine. You got dressed and left the house looking like Brandon T. Jackson in Big Mama's house. Looking like the Soul Glow dude from Coming to America Got Confused. You out here dressed like Tyler Perry, Cass, Erica Kirk, and got packed up in 30 minutes. An NBA game is 48 minutes. You didn't even make it to the fourth quarter. You ain't even make it to the fourth quarter. If you add up all the minutes you logged in the NBA, you don't even get to 30 minutes. And you got packed up. If you add that 30 minutes to your time, you don't even have an hour of service time. 30 minutes. I need to know what possessed you to leave the house looking like the Black BG and get packed up in 30 minutes. You know what I mean? They never would have did the Geico caveman like that, but they did you like that. Looking like the warrior of Spirit Halloween. Out here looking like Jesus in The Walking Dead. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Jason Momoa would never. Neither would the new Trivago guy. But you went down in 30 minutes looking like a Temu Pantene commercial. Even Chaka from Land of the Lost think that's an embarrassing performance. And quite frankly, I'm ashamed for Beyonce. Not that she would have anything to do with you, but now we know what the bearded version looks like. 30 minutes. Now, you're not alone in loserdom. You're not alone in loserdom. Oh no, Trump, come on down. Hey Trump, come on down. Yeah. This you?
He works so hard. I used to say, because he's really working for all of us. And the jeopardy, I mean, his business was put in jeopardy, tremendous jeopardy. He had a great business and it was put in jeopardy. He gave up so much. But I'm just telling you that he has my complete and total endorsement. What I'm doing is saying this is a great Republican and a great person. I hope you get out. When is it on Tuesday? When is it? When is your August 11th? And I have a perfect record. Don't make me blow my record. You know that, so I have a perfect record of endorsements.
Now, Trump, I know you like to tout your 100% winning record when it comes to your endorsements, which already we done take an L by the brother that gave his concession speech at the yellow light, didn't even wait for it to turn red. But what possessed you to endorse this?
Hello there, it's Mike Lindell. You know who. I got thousands of pillows and a gun under each one. Next year, Minnesotans face the most important election since the 97 Lake Hiawatha wet sweatshirt contest. I voted for Pudgy Peggy.
That man can't even debate a child. You thought he was going to debate a Democrat?
257,000 votes. This happened last week. A judge ruled in Georgia that are missing from the 2020 election.
Yeah. So
this just came out. You're behind.
So your source is Trust Me, bro? That's your source?
Well, look on the bright side, Mike Lindell. At least you're going to have a soft landing. You know, with all them unsold pillows you got at the crib. You're going to be all right. And I think you made it through this whole campaign season without getting served with a lawsuit. Huh?
Into our country, most of them break a law within the first 3 months. Most of them, we're on TV here, please. We're on TV, please. We're on TV, please. Okay? We're on TV, please. We're on TV, please. Okay, we're on TV, please.
What are you serving him with?
We're on TV, please. We're on TV,
what are you serving him with?
I'm not accepting it.
What are you trying to serve? Ma'am,
we're on TV, please.
Yeah.
We're on TV, please. Okay.
But we knew Mike Lindell was out here on the struggle bus. That we understood. But Trump, how does it feel? How does it feel? No, I'm keeping my shirt on. I'm keeping my shirt on. This is my tribute to D'Angelo. Yeah. Royce White, they will never do that for you. Oh no. Oh no. Hey, you're not the only loser, but I didn't say you wasn't the biggest one. Hey, Mike Lindell and Donald Trump went out sad, but they didn't go out looking like Atlanta's show enough.
I realized my fear of flying really wasn't a fear of flying. It was the transgender trapped inside of me, caged inside of me, that gave me an aversion to small spaces. I think there are plenty of people out there who have
that makes perfect sense.
A transgender trapped deep down inside of them. And so they think they're
every one of you.
claustrophobic.
No. Every one of you do. Let's just be.
Yeah, they think they're claustrophobic. Not really claustrophobic. It's the transgender that's trapped.
What you say, small spaces? Small spaces, the claustrophobic? You ain't got to worry about it. Now, you ain't got to worry about it. Nah. Because, sometimes they trap you in the Senate and you got to do a vote. You ain't even got to worry about it. Nah, because they wasn't going to have wrong said Fred in there in the Senate with them. Now, wasn't nobody looking for ambiguous Jesus. They really wasn't. They really wasn't. But it's the lengths that you went to curry favor with MAGA, and you ain't even hit 10%. You ain't even hit 10%. Dressed like Jesus Christ super bad. You didn't hit 10%. I swear. I'm sad for Nick Ashford having to look at you looking like the frosted version and didn't even hit 10%. You're not no Destiny's Child. You might be child of destiny. Somewhere between that and a mega church youth pastor. That's for sure. And I thought you would have got a couple of votes for people confusing you with Laura Trump. You know what I mean? I thought if people got confused with you and Laura Trump, you would have got a couple. You know what I mean? Or maybe for old time's sake, people that love Pirates of the Caribbean be like Johnny Depp. I thought maybe you might have got a couple of those. You know what I mean? But then again, they might have looked at you and said, "Is that Kristi Noem trying to sneak back into politics?" I can't that looked like Kristi Noem trying to sneak back into our lives. I can't even do it. Maybe you can blame it on that. Maybe you can blame it on that. But you clearly took it too far, because didn't nobody tell you leave the house looking like the Real Housewives of Atlantic City? Nobody told you do that. Huh? Who you thought was going to vote for Kevin Bacon in Beauty Shop? Huh? What about Minnesota made you think they wanted Hagrid from Harry Potter as a senator? Well, you know what? On the bright side, at least you got a future. Because you look like a future cat breeder. So you can go ahead and get started with that. Oh, wait. Or is it Joanna Man? Royce White says his fear of flying that ended his NBA career early was actually the transgender trap inside of me that gave me an aversion to small spaces. He has now declared himself eligible for the WNBA draft. Huh. The WNBA. It came, y'all, my first wig. Tomorrow I tested on the court. This is my feminine era glow up. Did I slay? If y'all don't yes queen, you're transphobic. I really don't understand all the hatred. I just want to play some hoops with my fellow ladies. Huh. With your fellow ladies, huh? You don't want to play hoops with the fellas? I wonder why. From NBA veteran Robin Lopez, biggest issue, if you're being drafted, people are saying, we want you around for 4 years, and I can't imagine anybody wants Enes Kanter or Royce White around them for even 4 minutes. We've seen this illustrated whenever Enes is near Turkey or Royce comes close to logic/reality. To which Royce Joanna White says, LOL, join the club, Robin. I'll slap your big goofy ass. B slap you like Pootie Tang. I will fight over these trans rights. Yes, we get it. You love slapping people with women's names.
What do you mean by that?
You know you done messed up, right? Maybe you should transition into a guy who doesn't beat his wife and kid first. That would be easier. That would be easier. But then again, that wouldn't endear you to MAGA now, would it? Oh no, we know all about MAGA family values. It had to be this to endear yourself to MAGA. Ain't that right? Former failed NBA player Royce White says he's transgender and plans to declare for the 2027 WNBA draft, stating, I'm a woman, so I'll be declaring for the WNBA draft in 2027 as well. There are no men in the WNBA. GOP Senate hopeful Royce White is doing this as a stupid stunt and a broader anti-trans narrative that falsely portrays women's sports as being overrun by men. White played 9 total minutes across 3 NBA games and recorded 0 points, rebounds, or assists. One more time. White played 9 total minutes across 3 NBA games and recorded 0 points, rebounds, or assists. Dang. You putting up Reese Waters numbers, ain't you? You putting up Reese Waters numbers. I got the same number of points, rebounds, or assists, and I didn't play no minutes. I think I had the better career, quite frankly. How? 9 minutes. You didn't even play a third as long as it took you to get packed up in the Senate race. Collectively. With this record, even if there were men in the WNBA, he wouldn't make it onto a practice team. He's also an alleged wife. His ex-wife has a 50-year protection order against him for DV. One of his children also has a 2-year protection order. No one is safe from this dimwit. Look at his head, for goodness sakes. See, Trump 2024. Huh. So you telegraphed this entire stunt by virtue of a previous stunt. Royce White is a known woman where he was just given a 50-year stay-away order for his ex-wife and 2-year from his stepson because of multiple findings of abuse by a judge. Right now, there are 0 D1 trans athletes in women's college basketball, 0 in the WNBA, and 7 over all D1 sports. You could not name one of them. There are 9 trans athletes in women's high school sports, most individual, very few team. You could not find any, but go ahead and Google and look for an arrest record on any. I did. You'll find none. What I just said are facts. Conservatives love to say facts don't care about your feelings, so maybe if you truly care about women and kids, don't praise and listen to a guy who women and kids. Or how about this? If you care about women and kids, make sure they're fed and educated. Huh? Make sure they have a future that they can lean on. Huh? So let me get this straight, MAGA. We're not talking about affordability. We're not talking about the war. We're not talking about the housing shortage. We're not talking about the vaccines. We're not talking about the epidemics spreading throughout the food. y'all talking about trans athletes and you want to be taken seriously by a man who literally would take any conversation and take it there.
Offer you certainty. They give you gay bathhouses, and down in the Twin Cities, we have a 30% proficiency reading, writing, and math in the Twin Cities. 30%. You give us transgender sex dolls before you give us reading proficiency, and you talk to me about 10 ability? Give me a break. I know Democrats in the building. It hurts. It hurts so good.
Royce White is now ranting about transgender sex dolls during a forum that's supposed to be about agricultural issues. This guy's a serious Republican in Minnesota who had the party's nomination for a Senate seat 2 years ago. Insanity. Now, the levels of admission of just how trash your platform is when months out from the midterms, you're left with haggling trans people. That does not look good. That does not look good. And this man wants to be a whole senator, but clearly has nothing better to do with his time. He all on social media searching his name. Was not tagged, was not notified due to searching his own name, desperate for content. So yeah, an effing loser. You know, if you spend some of that social media time at practice, you might have lodged a rebound or an assist for your career. Royce White withdraws from the WNBA draft after learning teams fly by plane. Oh yeah, and then there's the part where you have absolutely signed up for all of the slander just to take an L in a Party City wig. I would like to personally invite Royce White to Colorado, where myself and all other taxpayers will gladly fund his transition. Colorful Colorado will proudly perform your sex change and give you some nice necessary triple Ds and help you with voice feminization. Royce, you don't have to do this alone. Sending care during these difficult times as transphobes are trying to erase your existence. We see you. Well, Royce, the ball's in your court. But then again, we all know what this is really about now, isn't it?
You know, right now I'm just having a blast in my feminine era. I never thought that I was a woman. You know, I've always trusted the science, and I thought I was a man my entire life. But you know, after further review, strong look at my personal preferences, it would appear that I am indeed sometimes identifying as a transgender woman, and I think it's only fair I get a chance to play with some of my queens here in the twilight of my career, my athletic prime.
But maybe not a WNBA candidate. But in all truth, you know who is? Royce White. You look at his stats. This guy is quite something. So he is 6'8". He is 270 pounds. He was the 16th overall draft pick in the NBA. That's pretty good.
MAGA. Do you see how easily grifted y'all are? You see how easily grifted y'all are? That's literally the only way he could get Fox News to say his name. That's literally the only way he could get coverage on Fox News, and they will gladly give it to him because of the distraction from, you know, your actual lives. That's how y'all want to be mad at the brother that got the funds off Shiloh Hendricks. Y'all want to be mad at the other brother that was talking about I scam MAGA. Y'all want to be mad about all of that. Look how easily grifted y'all are. Do better. You know what? Let me show you how easily grifted y'all are. She's white. She's adorable. Everyone loves her. She's becoming the face of the league, and she's good. Huh. The face of the league. Okay. I'll bite. Sophie Cunningham to start August. 2.7 points per game. 28.5% field goal percentage on 23 minutes a game. Damn. Them Royce White numbers, ain't they? She like a regular Royce White. But wait a minute, she's becoming the face of the league. Well, why would they say a thing like that?
Just so we're clear here on the WNBA, Sophie's alone. She's alone right now.
I think there are a lot of people that agree with her. They just don't want to talk about it.
But that's even worse.
Yeah, it is.
That's even worse, that you're going to allow one of your colleagues that's trying to protect all of you guys, as if it's a controversial point of view to say that the men should play in the men's league and the women should play in the women's league.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Slandering Trent. There it is. I got you. I got you. And how did I make this transition? Oh, how easily grifted y'all are. Right.
I think that there's so much good going on in the WNBA. I think that basketball is being played at the highest level it's ever been. I think our team in specific, we are breaking history right now with the amount of points that we're scoring on back-to-back games. I think the Minnesota game, there's just so much distraction. I think the WNBA media, all we ever do is cover everything except basketball. And it's like, what are we doing? There's so much. Like, you can talk about other things. I think those are great stories. I think it shows fans, who people are outside of the court. But I also think we got to keep the main thing.
You know, she said a whole lot of words. Let me condense that for you. Leave politics out of sports. There it is. There it is. There it is right there. You know what, Sophie Cunningham? I'll bite. Why don't we leave politics out of sports? Let's talk about basketball. 2.7 points per game, 28.5% field goal percentage, and 23 minutes a game. That's the face of the league right there. That's the face of the league. You know, because she 23 minutes a game. That's Michael Jordan's number. I think she might be the greatest. And you know what? They better not touch her, or we gonna go nuts. Wall-to-wall coverage. During a war, going into the midterms, wall-to-wall Sophie Cunningham coverage.
Cunningham up ahead of the field, lays it in, plus the foul, and then Cunningham gets into the face of Dejanay Carrington.
Yeah, but she has been liking our videos and sharing them from XXXY Athletics. I will say so myself, we make great content that puts the attention back on the girls, and she has been liking and sharing them since October 24. So, we have had some communication via DM, which I will not reveal, that's private, but I knew that she was on our side, and I'm just so pleased to see her standing her ground and doing it in such a dignified, lovely way. Love is truth is what she said.
Oh, so you remember that whole thing about how easily grifted y'all are? Maybe I could just go with how lazy y'all are. You got a whole computer in your pocket, and you too lazy to use it. Let's not forget, Sophie Cunningham did this to J.C. Sheldon last season. The same people making comments calling out Dejanay Carrington and her files today are the same ones that applauded Cunningham last year. You can't have it both ways.
Mabry. That's a flagrant foul. It's a...
Oh, wait. It's way worse than that. I guess when you take a girl's head off, people loves that stuff. From Sophie Cunningham. After a 2025 flagrant on J.C. Sheldon, Sophie gains 1 million new TikTok followers and lands an endorsement with Ring. Since it can't possibly be white privilege, can't wait to see Dejanay Carrington cash in. So MAGA, y'all already have gone on record for following this lady and pushing endorsements on her for that kind of behavior. Yet even knowing that you did that, knowing that's the case with what happened last year, you still don't have enough shame not to send hate at a black woman that does the same. You have given us so much evidence. I don't know how you can construct your supremacy after this. You surrendered all buildable materials for supremacy. It would kind of be like, calling anybody brown a DEI for years and then letting a woman inherit a Senate seat. It would be kind of like that. It would be kind of like that. And by the way, since we're talking about losers, let's see, we got Mike Lindell, we got Royce White, South Carolina. That wasn't even the most embarrassing thing y'all did this week.
Yeah. Well, Trey, I got to say that when someone tells you who they are, believe them. The Democrats have been consistently saying they don't want to just get rid of the filibuster in these days. They actually want to get rid of the Senate. But beyond that, they want to make sure that Puerto Rico and D.C. become states. They want to make sure that they pack the Supreme Court until they have a liberal, crazy, progressive majority. The only way to stop that from happening, and I believe them, Trey, is to win elections. That means we have to stop Tellerico in Michigan.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. Back to your regularly scheduled grift. That's what white privilege looks like. When Cunningham files an opponent, she's an enforcer. When Carrington does the same, she's a danger. And you might be wondering to yourself, what's going on in that photo? Because that does not look like a WNBA game. No. That's her acting as a ring card girl at an MMA event. Which is interesting because I didn't know they watch WNBA games. Who would have thought? Here you are putting up 2.7 points a game and you get called to be a ring card girl. What are the chances? Oh, it gets better. How about being in Sports Illustrated's bikini photo shoot? Wow, well, that's interesting. I never imagined a bikini photo shoot enforcer edition. That never occurred to me. They got Bill Lambier over there? Huh? They got Bill Cartwright? Like what? We got Charles Oakley? Like what we... An enforcer edition. Oh, no, wait. It's the grift. I'm going to tell my kids this was Sophie Cunningham. I won't correct them. No, I won't correct them. I won't. Hey, they couldn't possibly be more misguided than MAGA is right now. The price of standing for girls and women. Oh, I said grift too loud and I knew Riley Gaines was coming. I knew she would come running. Let's not let it be forgotten that she finished, fifth? She finished fifth in that race that she's built her whole career on, losing to a trans person. Won when she finished fifth. I would be furious if I was one of the other women that lost that beat her. I gotta get a job while she can make this her whole personality? When I beat her? You're so stupid. Everyone's hated Sophie since she was effing the married CEO of the Mercury.
I say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. Because then I start to taste them. I say, and then I start to smell them. So it's like a smell that tastes like, so I knew something was wrong. I knew something special about it.
And everyone hated her for being friendly with Portnoy and being on the Fever. Everyone has a right to hate Fever fans for being racist and homophobic and transphobic. We all hated her for being MAGA long before your busted A showed up. Of course, you're fine with all that because your own coach was a serial predator and you had no issue with that. Just like you have no issue with Royce effing White women. Something about mid-MAGAs and lacking morals. Riley Gaines. They've been hitting you with the coach thing for like almost a decade now. And you still, that wasn't in your talking points? When you did that video and they gave you your deeply held beliefs and opinions, that wasn't in there?
Wait, tell me the pillars again. So it's pro-life.
So, First Amendment, Second Amendment, sanctity of life, and veteran and first responders.
Okay.
And
First, second. Yep. Cool. The First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the sanctity of life, our veterans, I feel very passionately about.
People have a right to hate MAGA women People have a right to hate MAGA women. You're all mentally ill and you all need help, and you need to stop pretending that you like real women, because you're all a threat to real women. Keep MAGA women out of women's spaces. Y'all just hate Dejanay because she's pretty. MAGA. I realize what you've been reduced down to, but y'all can feel free to try and defend yourselves on this one and make it way worse. When I see a proliferation of pics of Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham, a role player, as a fever duo instead of all-stars Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, or both, my incoming assumption is that person is racist because there's no basketball reason. Wait a minute. What you mean? What you mean there's no basketball reason? 28.5% from the field? Huh? In 23 minutes? What you mean there's no basketball reason? And no, having her next to Caitlin Clark shows how good Caitlin Clark is. So MAGA, and I recognize that you haven't thought this through because you have failed to think in a full calendar year, but what is the move after you throw up a poster of Caitlin Clark and a woman scoring 2.7 points per game as the fever duo and ignoring Black All-Stars? What's the, you know what I mean? What's the move after that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you continue a serious discourse after that? Like, y'all don't ever think about tomorrow, do you? You literally never think about tomorrow. But I got something you should see.
This is America, Lois. Men have always run things, and there have never been any problems whatsoever. And don't say the economy or Iraq or income inequality or racism or Brett Kavanaugh or air pollution or Vietnam or slavery or Watergate or capitalism or Me Too or homelessness or police brutality or homophobia or Monica Lewinsky or school shootings or Native American genocide or Fox News or Tim Allen or climate change.
Riley Gaines, Sophie Cunningham, Enes Kanter, Royce White. Why are all MAGA sports icons mediocre athletes obsessed with trans folks? I don't think it has anything to do with them being athletes. Put the emphasis on mediocre, because we see it all around MAGA. There are unironically more cis men trying to compete in women's sports as a bit than trans women legitimately trying to. LMAO. One more time. There are unironically more cis men trying to compete in women's sports as a bit than trans women legitimately trying to. So y'all tried to, in a stunt alongside your boy Enes Kanter, y'all tried to push this narrative as a bit and give yourself some attention going into a horrific primary defeat, only for it to very openly and loudly prove the futility of this entire narrative. You created the thing that you rail against, and by virtue of doing so, showed its complete lack of existence prior. I know, it was a lot of words, MAGA. I know it was a whole lot of words, but how about this one? And this one is for Royce White, because here's the thing. I went into the whole Sophie Cunningham angle to show MAGA how easily they were grifted, but that's not you now, is it? No, that's not you. Because Sophie Cunningham, in the twilight of her 2-point career, is laying out a future platform for herself. That's right. Her right-wing career is just getting started. But yours is over. You want to talk about it? Oh no, the wig videos and photos are forever. You talking about your feminine, that's forever. 30 minutes. 10% of the vote. Quite frankly, I think you might take them up on some of them offers with the transition and everything, because this ain't working out.
You know, I've always trusted the science, and I thought I was a man my entire life. But you know, after further review, strong look at my personal preferences, it would appear that I am indeed sometimes identifying as a transgender woman.